I wonder, is this a picture of Lansdowne most powerful endurance athletes? Would it be a top trumps winner here, perhaps? So I've welcomed up Andy Findley, and if we just have the next slide, I'm going to talk to Andy Findley about something he's done recently. He's just completed the toughest foot race in the world. It's 6 days, it's over 6 days, 156 miles in the Sahara desert. I know, and Andy's completed it. You've got a clap. Okay, my first question to you is, what did you find so tough about the toughest race in the world?
Is this on? Yes. It's a lot of things. It's the cumulative effect of so many different factors. Obviously, you can see from the slide, you're running every day. It gets to be 50 degrees during the day, which is obviously, it just saps your strength while you're running. For the whole week, one of the aspects of the race is you carry everything you need for the whole week, apart from your water and your tent. So your sleeping bag, your food, everything you have to eat, all has to somehow squeeze into one bag. So you're running, on average, it's a marathon a day across sand dunes and dry riverbeds, carrying everything on your back, which is obviously heavy. It rubs your shoulders. And then at night when you get back to your tent, everybody sleeps 8 to a 1 Bedouin tent, and you sleep on the floor. So you don't get much sleep. I had a very thin carry mat, and the first day we had a whirlwind that came through the campsite, and I was off using the toilet. When I came back, I had no mat. It had gone off in the desert somewhere. So you're sleeping a whole week just on a bit of carpet in the bottom of these Bedouin tents. So you get no sleep. During the day, you're hot. And the other problem is food. I got sick. So you stop eating food halfway through the race. So you ran the second half with nothing to eat. My stomach wouldn't take food. So I'm living on powders and water. So it's just one thing after another. It just gets worse.
So if we have the next slide, you weren't really just on Bournemouth Beach the whole time. You're very convincing.
I was wishing I was.
Right, so why did you put yourself through it?
I try and personally do one little adventure a year. And I have a friend in the States who called me and said, we've got to do this one. This one, it's got this nickname of being the hardest race in the world. He said, we've got to have a go at this. And so I was reluctant on this one because it's quite expensive. But we decided to go for it. So that was the reason. He persuaded me. Okay,
fantastic. And you did manage to finish. So where did you finish? And did you beat Sir Ranulph Fiennes? The most powerful UK explorer, perhaps we could say.
Sir Ranulph was injured. He was suffering towards the end. So one of my aims was to beat Sir Ranulph. But yes, I did. I managed to beat him. And overall, I came 33rd.
Wow. So I had getting a lot of claps this morning. Now, I think you've brought in your T-shirts to show us.
Yes, well, that's one of the other problems as well. Obviously, because you're carrying everything, you only have one set of clothes. So you wear the same clothes from the start of the race to the end. So imagine sweating in sand for 7 days, wearing everything you wore the first day. So that was my shirt, one of my shirts when I set off. And then it's like a Purcell advert in reverse. And that was my shirt.
Woo! Yeah, that was hot out there, wasn't it? Yeah.
It does stand up by itself now.
And you've got a Bible verse on here.
Yes, I put that on right at the start. That was my motto for the start of this year, actually.
I can do all things through him who strengthens me.
Yeah, and I thought it was the perfect verse to have on my shirt.
Did anyone mention it?
Oh yes, got a few comments.
Oh, great. And just one more question. Now, it's often said about Christianity that it's just a crutch for the weak, for weak people. And here you are, an incredibly powerful athlete, tough competitor. You must be really mentally strong to have coped with such a week. Why does someone like you also feel such a need for Jesus?
I never felt like an incredibly powerful athlete at any time, but every single day when I set up before I started running, I would sit down and pray, because I knew I didn't have that power in me, or that strength in me. It is an awful race. It is just so hard. And every morning I would pray. When I'm running, I say the Bible verses to myself. And while I'm running, there's a verse in Isaiah that I was saying all the time over to myself. The one where, I'm one of the older guys there. And you look around and you see, it says, young men stumble and fall. But those who trust in the Lord, they renew their strength, rise on wings like eagles, and they will run and not grow weary, and walk and not grow weak. And I'm running thinking, please God, don't let me grow weary. and I must have prayed, honestly, 100 times. I'm praying to myself, don't let me grow weary. Fill me with your strength and power. And I think it's, no matter how strong you feel, you need more strength is always needed.